Healthy Rebel Radio is sponsored by the Healthy Rebel app. 300 plus secretly healthy, delicious, mouth-watering dessert and treat recipes made with all-natural, whole food ingredients. Now available for download on the App Store and Google Play. Find out more details at healthyrebel.com.
Welcome to Healthy Rebel Radio. I'm your host, Dr. David Deiser. I'm here with my Dami Health Healthy Rebel co-founder, Amy Lane. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
Good, how are you?
You excited about the news for the day?
I don't know what it is, so...
You're not in the know yet, so it's going to be...
I'm not in the know.
It's going to be all excitement all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know you know one thing.
What?
About the changes with the Apple devices.
What?
Well, for the new iOS, we know that they're going to be creating a setting where when the sun goes down, you can switch your phone from a blue light emitting to a light that won't stimulate the brain to stop melatonin release.
Mm-hmm. Yellow light.
All right. So, I mean, that's exciting. I'm pumped about it because I don't think there's a way to restrict phone and TV and electronic usage at night for everyone. It's just not. It's really not going to happen. But I know you feel a different way.
Yeah, I kind of feel...
You think it's silly?
Yes, I do. I think that humans should just self-regulate and understand that, using these devices before bed is going to stimulate your brain and it's not good or healthy for you. So just don't do it.
Solution.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like we're dumbing ourselves down when companies have to come out with things like this and we're like, yes, this will regulate for me so I don't have to use my brain. Okay, hold on.
That was my reaction.
Yeah.
That was my literal reaction. Yes.
Yeah, no. See, and I think it's just crazy. Just don't use them for an hour or so before bed.
I should go over what it means. When you use electronics at night, television, phone, iPad, they release a blue light which tells the pineal gland, don't release melatonin. This person is not interested in going to sleep. Mm-hmm. And that's all through the eyes. So the idea was that let's stop the devices from releasing blue light. I mean, there's anti-blue light glasses now.
Oh, you know what? You should get the new phone, and then you should wear the glasses.
You're lying in bed with anti-blue light glasses with a phone that has a different projection of light. I don't know if it's going to look any different. It probably will.
I don't know.
It probably will.
You should link in the show notes the full blog post we did about having a better night's sleep. I think that, personally... That's the road I think you should go. As a fully formed adult human,
right.
I think that we should just do what it takes to function better.
Absolutely.
Instead of spending $1,000 on a new device that will...
Well, no, it's going to be an update.
Oh, how are they going to do that?
I don't know yet. I'm not sure. That's what I read. I mean...
Well, that's kind of neat. That always...
oh my gosh.
Well,
flip the switch.
Well, it's neat that...
Yeah, I know. There's no new hardware for this.
Wow.
That's what it said. It said iOS 9 point something.
Will
be a change.
I don't know.
The interesting thing about it, I think, is exciting, is that we're trying to regulate circadian rhythms in a tighter way because our modern society doesn't allow for it. Meaning, as the sun goes down right now, which is like 4:45, mm-hmm. our body should start to slow down. And the pineal gland plays a major role in that. So if we're constantly stimulating it, it's going to change the overall output of what our natural rhythm should be.
And what I have to say is, regulate it yourself.
Right, but what you're saying is that...
Form a lifestyle that's healthy for you.
Yes.
And also, I think it's healthy on different levels. I don't think you should be with these devices an hour before sleep, no matter what. Blue lights... brain stimulation, worry, fear, anxiety, all those things.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. I just think there's a natural way of being where from 4:45 to, say, 9 p.m., there probably shouldn't be as much stimulation as there is of that pineal gland. I don't know.
I get it, but, this phone change isn't going to do it. People are still going to be on Facebook reading all those things that trigger them emotionally.
Oh, yeah.
The news is still going to be coming up. They're still being screamed at. When you walk down the street now, billboards are screaming at you, whether you're looking at them or not looking at them.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I saw the most interesting thing the other day. I should find it. I meant to send it to you. It was a cartoon, a Banksy cartoon, talking about how we don't choose what advertisers are constantly bombarding us with. And it's so funny because it's that conversation that you and I had about when this last naked, whatever the last naked thing of Kim Kardashian did. Mm-hmm. And I said, like, I don't follow her. I, don't care, what's going on. Mm-hmm. And yet I can't avoid seeing her naked. And I said,
I'm always seeing it.
I've seen her naked so many times and I don't seek it out. Mm-hmm. It's just everywhere that I go on anything. So I was saying to you in that conversation, what if I just showed up at Kim Kardashian's house and just flashed her? Well, I'd be arrested.
Right.
So why has it become socially acceptable that she's continually flashing me? Yeah. And, I can't avoid it. And you would say, just don't buy the magazine. No, it has nothing to do with that.
No,
it's on every news outlet. It's on every social media. It's all over Instagram.
That argument would mean you'd have to shut down
I have to change the way I live my life so that I can avoid. So, and then let's just change it into something different. Say it's say that image of this nude person was, a 65-year-old overweight, uncleanly man. Mm-hmm. We'd all be up in arms about it. Mm-hmm. So why has it become socially acceptable to see her, that we're okay with her just flashing us all the time? And I get it, that she's a beautiful woman and all those things. I would never take any of that from her. But I'm just so over it. Let's just flip it into, a dirty, overweight man, and we're all like, oh!
Well, comedians are doing it. I mean, publications, that'd be a good marketing campaign for a publication to totally flip the switch.
I think so. I literally, there you go. I just gave a great idea for
someone.
Someone.
Marketing 101.
And I was just going to give a name, but I don't want to make it sound like he's dirty and offensive, but he doesn't care about his body. Anyway, I'm not going to say it, but yeah, I think we should flip the switch and just for 5 years straight, just put him naked everywhere all the time and and then the world will be like, okay, yeah, this isn't normal.
Well, it's interesting we say that about someone using it because Seth Rogen and James Franco did use it in a major way, mm-hmm. and the virality of their campaign was huge. It was everywhere.
Because it just...
So it comes back to this Banksy thing.
Anyway, this Banksy cartoon. I forget the name of it. You should link it. It's really interesting, and it's just a really smart take on what's going on with advertising right now and how we have no choice over it and we have no right. And it's so bizarre. Mm-hmm. We're in a really weird time. And it's constant. As I sit here right now, just in the safety of my own home, I see, 4 or 5 advertisements. Mm-hmm. And I'm just in my home.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Definitely.
Sorry, I got off track there, but I meant to send that to you.
Yeah.
Because I know that you have an affinity for Banksy anyway, but this is really cool.
Yeah, it's a great conversation to be had.
It is a great conversation.
Because it's happening in health and wellness too. I mean, we can't deny the fact that we're being bombarded with certain things in health, and thank gosh there's a lot of sort of holistic or natural companies that are making more money and able to promote themselves in a better way.
Well, that's the scariest part, is that you have to run alongside, these people that just have so much funding. I just last week, was contacted by someone that I knew. He's a, fitness trainer, blah, 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 blah. And he was basically bragging to me that this really popular health and wellness, quote-unquote, guru had mm-hmm. paid him a large amount of money to be a ghostwriter on her new program. Mm-hmm. And he didn't even, for some reason, think I would be offended.
Right.
And I was like, that's disgusting. She's selling herself and all these pictures, happy, sharing her life, and then saying, I'm going to give you what I do. Mm-hmm. And the fact of the matter is, it's not what she does. And the other thing is she's trained by him personally 4 times a week. And here she's telling people, you don't have to go to a gym. I don't go to a gym. Here's exactly what I do.
Oh, no.
And he wrote it. He's an elite personal trainer, top something in Canada. It's disgusting. And she paid him a ridiculous amount of money, and then he was telling me, oh, and by the way, she sold 10,000 copies in 3.5 weeks, making $250,000 in less than a month.
Wow.
And I was like, this is ethically horrible.
That's a program that she doesn't follow, that she's promoting.
And he told me, now I don't know if it's true or not, but that she made $3 million in the last 3 years. Now,
wow.
Now, how am I supposed to compete with that?
Mm.
Someone that has $3 million in funding and is paying people. Like, it's just, of course they can put out content faster.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's just, we're in a really weird time.
Oh,
and, like, people like us that are grounded in the truth, it's not sexy, it's not fast, it's not bright, you know, and we're putting the money we earn back into what we do. It's really hard to compete.
Oh, yes.
It's a rough time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know that if I was trouncing around in a bikini on the beach and photographing it, laughing every day, I'd probably make 3 times the amount of money I make.
Yeah, most likely, just because of
But I don't want to sell that to anybody. Because A, it's not reality. It's not my life. B, I don't want anybody to, like... I know what it feels like to look at women on the internet and be like, oh, I wish I had her life. I know that feeling. And I don't ever want that to be unauthentic. If someone actually looks at my life and says, I'd like to have a life like that,
wow,
I can go to sleep at night because it's real.
Right.
I work really hard. You know, I vacation in places with no technology and I focus on nature. I, you know, continually try to grow, spread love, learn, become smarter, become a better person. You know, I work really hard on my marriage. You know, all of those things I really am. I am not trouncing around in a bikini on the beach. I'm just not. I'm just not. That's
no,
not.
So if you were posting that, it'd be, yeah.
Right? Plus, it's nobody's really doing that. Maybe.
I mean, maybe.
But, you know what I'm saying? It's not...
It's not a lifestyle. It's not a...
And it's not the dream.
No.
It isn't. You know, even if, you know... I don't know.
I mean, to get back to censoring yourself from things. They're like the Kim Kardashian thing, impossible to avoid. But when we get back to this health and wellness discussion, since we've cut cable, I have not seen Cheerios, Kellogg, any of the sugary cereals have really not been in my view. That's an interesting point. I haven't seen
a fast food ad. I haven't seen a Pepsi or Coke ad. I've seen a couple.
No, that's really just
I've
cable.
seen like Sprite and thing placements, but that's because we watch NBA.
Right, yeah. And that would just be placements around the court.
Right.
Huh.
Yeah, and just some gyms. It's not even every time. It's just some gyms. But yeah, I haven't. It's great. Yeah,
that's interesting. So there are ways to get around that stuff, but I mean, it's impossible.
You also have to be, you know, a certain level. Like I say, loving yourself is the most important thing. It's not about knocking other people down. It's about being able to sift through the bull pucky. You know, what's not real.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with bombardment advertising is you have to be centered all the time if you're...
Oh, it took me years. Well, since we started this. So, since I started this journey. So, since 2007, almost 10 years do I now... I mean, you know, I used to cry back in the day and be like, this person, you know, doesn't work ever like I do. And they are so much more successful. And they have professional photos done all the time. And their social media grew so fast. Well, it took me a long time to learn that a lot of that's bought and paid for. You know, the reason that we're steady and we have this steady following is because we've never bought and paid for anything. We've organically grown and organically cultivated a community. And, you know, we're very firm on, we're not trying to trick anybody into anything. We're trying to say exactly what we do, exactly what we offer. And if that vibes with you and you feel like that could inspire you or help you or, you know, I could guide you on your journey, that's why we're here.
Definitely.
Join me. You know, but I'm not trying to manipulate you. I'm not trying to be like, look how sexy I am in a bikini, trouncing on the beach. You want this life, and then, you know, sneak in the back door, and you're like subconsciously, oh, I want that, and then you know, and it's disappointing. No, like,
yeah, right.
You know,
what does it mean to trounce?
You know, like when you see those.
I mean, we use it a lot, but what does that really mean?
Well, for me, it means like that slow motion, like hair in the wind.
It's always slow motion.
Even like light jogging, like that thing, but like, even when I'm in a bathing suit on the beach, that's not usually what's going on, unless I'm running with the dogs.
Right.
And it's not cute.
Right, yeah. Speaking of the dogs, what a transition. But the next story is research about dogs that came out this week, and this is not going to surprise you at all.
What?
Some studies have been done. It's all over the internet. I got it from Mashable, but I saw it somewhere else first. Basically saying that we know now dogs can recognize and respond to human emotions.
Oh, whoa.
Well, yeah. I didn't think you'd be surprised.
No. I don't think anybody that's close to their... He's licking right now.
Yeah.
That made him lick.
He knows.
It's like talking about me. Yeah, I mean, anybody that has dogs and are emotionally close to their dogs, no.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've seen days that I've been sad or been sick. Remember that day I was sick and they both just got in bed with me and laid on me the whole time?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
it was adorable.
They were like, we're going to heal you with our love. We're just going to wrap mommy up and just, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. The study was about the dogs. They had them look at photos and they had them hear sounds. And when the photo matched the sound, the attention span was like really, really high and great. And they had super focus. And when the photo of the emotion did not match the sound, there was no attention. There was... Very interesting.
It doesn't surprise me at all. I think the dogs are so emotionally intelligent. It reminds me of that time. Remember, you were so mad that time that Oscar and I scared each other and we both screamed the exact same way? Gosh, I wish that was on video. We both let out the exact same human scream and jumped, and Dave was like, okay, I can't take you two anymore.
Oh my gosh. And before you guys, see, things like that wouldn't make me angry.
No, I know.
But now I care for you guys so much, and I've just been around it for so long that when that happens, it just makes me angry.
I should probably explain. Oscar, our male dog, and me, we have a codependent, unhealthy relationship.
you just explained that in a way that was very much like, this is okay. This is happening, and it's not a big deal.
Well, because we understand what it is, and we're over trying to fix it. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe around like the year 5 mark, we could have 3, 5, we could have worked on this, but we're heading into year 8, and we just know what's up. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we are usually touching. We eat basically all the same things.
Same foods, yeah.
We can't be apart. If I'm on the other side of a door, he's on the other side crying. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So Dave gets kind of frustrated at times because our relationship is really, it's intense.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is. And now we know that he can recognize your emotions, and
yeah.
But we sort of knew that already.
Oh yeah.
And respond. It's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. The third story we have today is about the new research about the average age of moms across North America has been published, and it's 26, which is a huge jump.
I was surprised by that. I thought it would at least be 30.
Well, see, you're thinking about the inner city, and being from Vancouver, there's a lot of
35 to 40-year-old new moms.
Definitely, it's a really, really major thing that's happening here as a trend amongst families.
Yeah.
New moms being in the later 30 range.
Well, I mean, there's multiple reasons for it. First of all, living in Vancouver is so expensive. It is really hard to get ahead. Second of all, most careers, male or female, don't really start to get serious until you're in your 30s.
Yeah, once you hit your zone,
40,
that's usually the zone of...
I mean, unless you're super fortunate, which, I mean, we all wish that happened, that we all took off in our early 20s, but, most of the time, you've had your basically 10 years of hard work from 20 to 30, mm-hmm. and then 30 to 40 is the years where you reap. Mm-hmm. That's what they kind of say. So, I mean, myself, I'm going to be 33 in a couple weeks. No.
Panic ensued.
Yeah. So I'm going to be 33 in a couple weeks, and we obviously don't have any children. We've been married for 6 years. We don't have infertility issues. We're often, and I know it's out of love, but people often, will send me messages and send me little things like, I pray that you'll have children soon, or mm-hmm. I hope this happens for you soon. And I remember I was visiting a couple years ago my mom, and she had a couple friends over, and everyone was having wine, and one of her friends, I think, had a few too many glasses and then kind of got on this defensive role of that, you don't know the private infertility struggles people are going through and all these things, and was like looking at me like I got your back. And, and I was like, no. We haven't tried. We actively prevent pregnancy. to this time for now. And she still didn't believe me. She was just like winking, like, I got you.
No worries, girl.
Yeah, I got your back. I was like, no, seriously.
No.
And I get it. It's all out of love. But, yeah, like and even my sister, I think she had her first child at 31 or 32. Mm-hmm. But, yeah.
The average age in 1970 was 21, and it's gone up to 26. So I think the 26 represents sort of the inner city situation, like what's happening in Vancouver. It's just it brings the average way up compared to where it was before. Yeah. But now, I mean, with modern medicine and the healthy lifestyles that people are adopting, I think it's much safer to have pregnancies in your 30s and later even. I know that when I was in naturopathic medical school, our obstetrics teacher was actually 46 and just had a baby by accident.
Yeah.
And she was actually teaching natural fertility treatments to us, and that's what her practice is focused on. She's also a midwife, naturopath and midwife. And everyone was like, well, this makes sense.
Yeah. That's good representation.
Very good representation. Very good for her practice. Not that she needs it because she's so busy.
Yeah. It's
but,
kind of ironic.
Yeah, it really is. Anyways, it was really funny and great. So, yes. Families starting later and later. I
think it's a good thing in a couple ways, too. I'm very much for the idea of spending some years married. Mm-hmm. And focusing on each other.
It's really valuable.
We think it's really valuable now that we've been through it. Mm-hmm. I think it's really important. I think spending time with each other and building that foundation and having time to discuss expectations of starting a family. One of the things as a person on the outside, I will watch people, just get pregnant before marriage or get pregnant as soon as they get married and haven't spent years together, going through real life things. Because let's face it, you have to put your feet to the fire to know what you're both who you are. Mm-hmm. So, and then people will get mad at each other for not being what they thought in their head that each other would be in those roles.
Right.
I've seen it on both sides. I have a male friend that was just so disappointed in how his partner turned out to be as a mother, but they never discussed before what her expectations were, and she was being what she always thought she would be as a mother, and then he was putting something on her that was never discussed. So, we're very clear on, I think, we've talked about it so many times.
Definitely, absolutely. I mean, and you're raising kids from a place of power, really, a place where you've discussed it, a place where it's fresh, it's top of mind, and you've been through a lot more.
At the very least, you won't have resent against the other person because you have at least your expectations on the table and you've worked through some things. Now, I'm not saying it'll be perfect.
No, and nor that it's better. This doesn't mean it's a better or worse situation.
I just think going into anything with a foundation of work and honesty, I just think I just think it has to turn out better.
Well, it's like Malcolm Gladwell talking about 10,000 hours at one thing to be an expert at or to really master it. Yet we don't put the same emphasis on marriage or on partnerships, raising children.
We see it all the time.
Focus on that. Yet when someone says that about their career, it's like, oh, I should be doing 10,000 hours.
Yeah, I know.
But there's many aspects of life where...
Well, we think of getting married as the peak, almost. And then after that, you just kind of like... you just kind of let it all hang out, and you have to love me unconditionally no matter what. This is what it is. And I find that a very bizarre approach to life.
It is. Well, I mean, University of Alberta this morning said that midlife crisis is not a thing, and people are actually happier as they get older. In the way they defined it.
I believe it. I think a lot of people back in the day, got married without talking about what their expectations of being married were going to be, were in their marriages and didn't discuss what was going on, and then, emotional like the resentment just bottles up layers after layer after layer, and then, you don't encourage each other to follow your dreams, and you start to almost be the worst person to the person that you supposedly love the most. Mm-hmm. I mean, we've talked about that all the time. There's all these couples that are like talk horrible to each other or talk about, how attractive all these other people are, or, do disgusting things in front of each other, and they would never do that in front of people on the street. Yet this is the person that you want to be sexually attracted to you for your whole life, and that you declared that you love the most and you want to be in this. I just think it's really weird. We flipped it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to, I just think to your partner, you're supposed to be, I mean, of course, real comes up and, you know, you want to stick by each other and there's going to be ugly times, but you don't have to be gross or rude or mean, you know?
No, I mean, the standard sort of falls as time goes, and it shouldn't be that way.
It should be the other way around, really.
Yeah, I mean...
like, why are you trying to impress the general public?
Yeah. Here's a PSA. It should be the other way around.
Yeah.
You should be consistently trying to be great.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying fake. I'm not trying... And, like, real things happen. We've been through some really horrible times, and we've seen the ugliest side of each other, but... You know, there's a way to argue that you don't tear another person down. There's a way to respect your partner by listening and looking in them in the eyes and making them feel valuable.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
That stuff. I'm not talking about you should look like a supermodel and, you know, whatever.
Right, for sure.
Little lip gloss didn't hurt anyone. I'm just kidding.
Little lip gloss. Well, that's our show for today. Thank you so much.
Gosh, sorry. I feel like I took over.
No, absolutely not. I think we covered a lot of great things.
I drank too much tea.
Too much tea. Tea time on another level.
Well, I had a lot.
That's Healthy Rebel Radio. Thank you so much for listening. That's episode 9. Have a great day.
See you.
Healthy Rebel Radio is presented by the online health and wellness center, DamiHealth.com. Since 2009, Amy Lane has successfully coached thousands of women through her signature program, the Bikini Body Program. Join today to work exclusively with Amy to unveil your greatest yet to be from the inside out. Go to DamiHealth.com for more information.
Thank you for listening to Healthy Rebel Radio. Please connect with us on our community pages on Facebook, Pinterest, and Instagram, all at the handle @DamiHealth. For weekly recipes, articles, and all our episodes straight to your inbox, join our newsletter at damihealth.com. You can find all the links discussed in today's episode in the show notes. Thank you for joining us, and see you tomorrow.